Hey guys, welcome back to today's live stream. So today's NFP. I've started this live stream early so we can go through this quickly before NFP hits. And again, guys, this is not financial advice. This is merely just educational purposes for journaling and me just. All right, so what I want to mark out here, this is a 4-hour chart, a fair value gap. So I just want to show you guys what I'm seeing right now. All right, so first of all, we've got this fair value gap right here with some equal lows here. There's this equal lows that was taken a while back, but there's some new ones here. All right. But then the market ran this low here. And maybe let me just mark it out quick. And then the market pushed higher and left a fair value gap here. That to me is not a sign that we're coming down. That's saying we're going higher and we need to close below this fair value gap before we can go lower. We did indeed not do that. We actually pushed even higher, left another fair value gap above the all-time highs. All right. Now there's a few things here. There's all these fair value gaps that sits in your way for pushing lower, although I've got some targets down here. I'm not saying we're going to go there today. I mean, I don't know what's going to do today, but at this point in time, there's no reason at all to look for any shorts. And that is just because we've got all these gaps and we got to close below them to actually go lower. If we close below the first one, I mean, I'm not going to try to short it in any way because we've got another one here. We literally have to break below all of them. So this might see a big push up, and then obviously there's no targets for that. Or we can see a breakdown to go lower into this other fair value gap. But be as it may, we're going to have to sit back and wait and see what happens in the next 5 minutes or so. Then, the key thing to look for today when we announce the NFP is that reaction. I want to see something to the effect, not the candle, but leave a long wick. That wick will become our target in the near future, whether it's today or next week. I don't know. But let's see what it does, and then we can take it from there. I'm just going to move to a 5-minute quick because I want to look at something quick and see if there's any opening gaps. Oh, we're not going to see it now. And that's the other thing we need to look at. The market could open now, aggressively push the market in one direction and then later come back and then create this big opening gap, and then maybe later run into in that direction. So at this 5 minutes right now, I'm seeing this. I'm seeing these equal lows being run here. I see this little order block here. So I would not be surprised to see price dip into it to spike through these this area right here. Because of that high there, there's liquidity up here. I mean, there's liquidity everywhere. So I don't know what's going to happen. We ran liquidity here. We might just go boom, and then come down, and then go all the way down into this fair value gap and consolidate for the remainder of the weekend, that type of thing. But let's see what happens. I'm not going to try to predict the market, but this is just what I see at this point in time. And if I had to go to a 1 hour quickly, see a nice consolidation there. So it could be that we want to go up, break down, test to go lower. But let's see. Right, I'm going to mute myself for the next 4 minutes, and then I'll be back with you guys in a moment. Okay, there we go. We left those highs up there, and see this long wick here. Let's see what it actually does. Okay, so what we got to do is we got to just give it some breathing room. So there's nothing to do here right now. All we got to do is just sit back and see it all play out. And like I said, expecting some big wicks. So obviously we took bounced off here, ran this liquidity, and now it's just a matter of give it some time before we can do anything. see what else is coming out. That's the NFP, and let's see what other news we have coming out. Alrighty, there's quite a few indicators coming out here. Okay. See if there was anything someone could have taken prior to this. I mean, that would be a normal entry, but as you can see, it smashed right through it. Killed everybody. So now, our new liquidity is going to be at these levels. Let's do it like this. That one. And that one. Alright. So that is what we are looking at right now. Whichever one we go first, we can look for some sort of reversal to go other way around. daily quick. So if we look at the daily, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. From Monday, it's only pushing up, 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 up. We might see something today that close lower. Just to pause a bit, and then obviously can go higher if it wants. I don't think there's going to be this big drop. I just think because we pushed the whole week up, we might just retrace today. And that would tell me we might go for these highs first, and then go here, and then consolidate. Price might just wait for 9:30. I can't remember if there was anything, but maybe for 9:30 for open to run those highs first. Or, I mean, I could completely be wrong here. But I think we just gonna sit like this till, yeah, we still got time. Or it could move all the way up till 9:30 and then reverse to go lower, and then we'll have to see. There's just too much news that's going to create noise today, so if you consider taking a trade, I would be very, very careful if I'm you. actually label these liquidities so everybody can see it. And then I'm going to mute myself again. Liquidity. Let's put that on the left so people can see it. And there we go, liquidity. Liquidity. Let's leave that in center, and let's see if I can do this one in center as well. Okay, see you guys in a bit. Hi guys. All right, let's look at what's happened here. So at 8:30, non-farm came and run buy side and sell side, creating a bottom wick and a top wick. Now these 2 points normally carries the highest probability of liquidity, and that is normally where price tend to draw to. And in this case we haven't gone anywhere yet, and I'm expecting now at 9:30 that price might run one of these liquidities, and I'm expecting the buy side to be run first and then the downside. And the reason I say that is, if you look at, I'm just going to go back to the 4-hourly. If you look at a 4-hour or even the daily, this whole week it's been moving up, moving up, moving up, taking all-time highs out, and we've pushed, creating fair value gaps. And while we above these fair value gaps, I'm not seeing us going anywhere down right now. Although I've got equal lows and a fair value gap lower down here, these two fair value gaps is my line in the sand holding price to go higher. And because it's Friday, we've been going up this whole week. I'm expecting us running the high of that wick, and then target the low of the wick to come down to this fair value gaps 50%, and then end of the week in a consolidation or something to that effect. I know there's a lot of news happening today, and I could be completely wrong, and this can drop completely down, but that's just what I'm expecting. And I don't have to be right for price to go either up or down. I'm just saying I want to see at 9:30 if price want to take the top liquidity, then obviously I'll try and see if there's an entry to target the bottom liquidity. If we run the bottom liquidity first and go lower and reject this 50%, then of course we still in the right side of the market, which is bullish, and we can expect price to go higher. I don't know if price will go higher today. It might run to levels that we all just sit back and look and say, geez, it's Friday, and see what it does. But I think let's just sit back, relax, and see what happens. I think 9:30, I think there's some big news coming out at 11 as well. So, I mean, we could also sit here and we're not running the top or the bottom of that wicks, and just go consolidate this whole day through, and maybe only see something towards the end of the PM session. But that's enough of me trying to predict what's going to happen. It normally does not play exactly that way. So let's just see what the market presents, and then obviously read price according to that. So we saw this big consolidation, spike, everybody stopped out. Nobody knows where we're going. Obviously we know price want to go higher, but there's an probability for price to run up and then come down to consolidate down here because of the Friday, but it can also do the opposite. Let us see. Okay, well, we've got 5 minutes left, so it's on live now, so I'm just going to take that off. I mean, we could go 1 minute. Let's see. Nothing that stands out yet. I mean, there's so many things that can happen here. We can see price run up and don't take that high out and create equal highs and then drop. Or we can do the opposite. And then obviously if it does create that equal highs, that obviously will tie back into our buyers to go higher. And but yeah, let's see what it does. Three minutes. The only liquidity, the only fair value gap that I'm seeing right here is this one here. See, price broke up and it's rejecting that dotted line right now, so that's why I'm expecting price to go higher there. I just don't like the fact that it's a small candles coming in, play around, reject, push through, rejects, and now just so you can see here we respected at 50%, which is that dotted line, broke away, come down, does not take these little equal lows out, and then gradually take this back up here. And now we can see that 50% is holding, so it's most probably going to go up from here to these liquidity pools, and there's liquidity resting up here as well. But let's just see. And as you can see, that little swing point there, that's getting broken, so be good to see a test in here and then rally higher. And there's no liquidity, or not liquidity, fair value gaps. Okay, there we go. See that little test there on the blue line, and then quickly bounce off that to go higher. I mean, some people just trade these little spikes to go to these next high, but obviously we don't like to trade here in the middle. Well, at least I don't. If it goes there, people might say, okay, Nielsen, why did you not take the trade? That's because I need solid entries, and that was right at equilibrium. So let's rather wait and see. I think might come and test it and leave a shift higher. Maybe a rebalance here or not. creating a little fair value gap here. Be nice to see a nice stop, big candle, creating a fair value gap inverted. That would be a nice entry then to target these lows. You always got to be cautious when you trade these days, especially on Fridays with all this news of the public holiday and all of that, because it can really, obviously jump around. Nice to see some sort of setup in here. That would give you a nice opportunity, because now you got this swing point here. See how 0.27, see how this all lines up here. And that's normally where you would put your stops, right below that. And then you would target, there's a 2 to 1, there's your 15 to 10. But then you have to take it below this 50%, and that will give you obviously good value within that blue block. Let's try it and see. That's a nice $300. That's all I need. Obviously we'll go there, but well, let's just see, $300, yeah, that's fine. And guys, that was an e-mini account. I don't want to hold it or leave it for all the way to the top, and the reason being is again, today is not the ideal day. I just want to see that scalp. Normally price come into a fair value gap, there's a reaction. Here we go, we went in, there's a reaction. We went out, came back, there's a reaction, and that's all I wanted to do, is to take that. And we've got a reason to go higher for that liquidity. I mean, it could reverse completely from here. It was within a very discounted area, so this is a trade that made sense for me to take a quick scalp. Why did I close there? Price could run all the way up here and then drop, and I just wanted to scalp that reaction quick there. I actually need to go down to a micro account, and now all my lines is gone, so let's just do this quick. Let's just add it quickly so we know it's still there, and we say liquidity, center is fine, Just want to see what's this side, what was this. And then we take liquidity as well. And we do the same. Liquidity. Right, so I'm going to look to maybe for opportunities to short here. I mean, here's your little bit of a fair value gap. We're breaking structure here. We're going up to there. We got to break down here to, so I'm not going to trade. I mean, some people will take their longs here to ride that piece. I'm not going to do that. I mean, this is where this black candle here could be the rebalance. Just want to make too many lines here. So price should hold about there. So if price comes back here, it should bounce. But let's see if we can get our entry up here. So at this point, $300, you don't have to you don't have to chase for much. 300 a day, 10 days, 3 grand. Okay, so if this big candle creates a fair value gap now, goes up, that's where we're going to look for an inverted. But if this thing goes all the way down, then we might just go completely higher. I'll make a block now, which is probably going to be this one, yeah. We want to see inverted there, but not now. Gotta wait for this candle to finish. It's, I mean, it could create up here as well, so let's just wait and see. Okay, so there we can see it's a tiny one. Make it. I'm not gonna take this because, guys, this is equal highs expected. This thing can drop from here and go all the way down to here. Then it's fine, we missed the trade. But here we can get a reaction to run higher. And let's see, we get into a fair value gap and then there's a reaction. So let's see what it does. We're right at this equal highs now. But if it closed below it, I wouldn't touch it. If it closed like that, we might see a reaction up first. Let's see how it plays out there. That's that scalp people normally like to take. And this thing might run those highs now. And as you can see, that's a quick trade. I mean, I took a one earlier. this one here, that gave me $300. This thing could have given you close to, I mean, 250 as well, same thing. That's just 2 trades already. You know, that would already given you $550 or $400 or more than that. And but this is the level I'm interested. I'm not interested taking a short here. Definitely not. Up push, up push. This thing could come down here. This little one here. But as long as the body stays within this blue block, we just ran a little low here. We're either going to continue down, or we're going to reject, stays in that blue block, and then go higher. Okay, we can see we're still respecting that blue block. I mean, nothing goes in straight lines here. And I'll tell you, the macro starts from here. From here. And it ends here. So this thing could bounce all the way from here. And then go back up, create a nice big fair value gap, and then macro could push this thing down lower. And only thing that happens here now is you got the swing point here, and you get this. So we most likely could run into this area here. You know, run the liquidity, but spike right into that 0.27 area. And then this bottom string should hold. Again, that 61 is at a nice discounted price. I mean, this is probably the last line in defense, this little block. And if you want to drop from here, then it's also fine. Then it played out one of the scenarios, creating liquidity, run all the way down. And I'm going to tell you, once it's going to see if it's going to go lower here. Okay, let's do this. Then I'll tell you what my next... Okay, let's see. That's probably going to run through that. See, that's why I'm very, 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 you know, cautious when it comes to equal highs. I've seen this many times. Price run up and stops, create equal highs, then run equal lows first before it goes back up. and these lows is a target. Be nice to see a retest of this to go lower, and that low push, low test, and then drop. So I'm going to take this off. This, see this fair value gap, price went in, shifted out, came back and almost retested to drop further. And here we come, get that test, and we could see price go down from here, or price can actually go into this bigger fair value gap, which is this one here. If it creates my pattern here now, most likely it will look to sell anything, but I mean, this could be a buy right here. We took out lows, we invert this fair value gap, and then we might want to go up all the way there now. But it all depends on how this fair value gap stops, and then it's just that push up there. Let's see, buy market 1, nope, it didn't close above. I'm not taking anything. If it will run up there, then great. If it comes down and close, not taking out that high, okay, well, if it wasn't going to take it out and came down and closed below this, then I would target the lows. We'll see now when we enter this macro area. This is where we're going to see liquidity is either going to drop all the way down or it's going to run up here. And this is where we can see a nice big candle to create us that fair value gap. Talking about up candle and then a big fair value gap to invert to go lower. Now we could see price run lower if it closed like this. If we close above this black candle and it retests this black candle again, that might send price up into that. Now we want to see that and then move up. And why did I pick that? We inverted this fair value gap. We created this block on top of the fair value gap and shifted over, and we were still rejecting in here, so it makes sense to go in it to bounce off. Could run up there now. It comes back down here, it just gives you another entry to buy. Let's see if it comes there. I'll take a micro, small trade. But it's got to come back down to this black candle. My stop would be right there. And then my target will be there. That's just quick scalp. But if it goes there now, then I won't obviously take a trade. Like that, I won't. Okay, next target should be this blue line. There you go. Blue line hit. Pity I didn't take a trade there, but now we're in a place where we can see, look for something if it reverses. It's in the macro zone. Let's see if it creates us a fair value gap here. It can go up again. And I'm going to take all of this off, because what we want to see now is this fair value gap to be inverted. If it now comes, if it creates a white candle spike and a black candle close, then this thing might go all the way down. And if I say all the way down, I'm just talking to the bottom side of this. we might go into the fair value gap and see how this fair value gap mid-range with this liquidity lines up. We might go in to test it, to run again, and then shift down to invert. Just see what 5 minutes looks like. Wow. See how this is my pattern. I mean, you could have taken your trade at an open or waited for this test. You would never have gotten this test. This was just running through it. So, I mean, if we really look at this, this could run higher from here. Okay, well, we'll have to see. But this could give us another white up candle close, and then the next black candle close, and then target this low. And if we've broken this low, we can then drop into that low. So let's just mark them out. This is the liquidity. This is also liquidity, internal liquidity. Okay, it'd be nice to see this white candle leave a pin but white, and then the next candle's a black candle taking a bigger inverted fair value gap to go lower. It's fine. I'm not going to go to 1 minute now because I want to see that form. I know in the 1 minute we've got this fair value gap here, but as you can see, there's a fair value gap that's busy forming on the 5 minute as well. It's right above the liquidity. Guys, we can see this thing run right up the page to, I don't know, I don't have any targets here, but we've got a swing point, we've got to push up. This thing could come all the way, test here, and then, yeah. If you look at this without these liquidities, this does not look like something that's going to come all the way down. This looks like something that's going to go up, test, OTE, and go higher. And off we go. And maybe this thing goes up, test, up, and then here at PM session, boom, drop all the way. Let's just see where can price come to if this is the the range. You see it's just here, so it's back to this level here, this level here, just here. Just see quickly what a 1 minute says. 1 minute says, guys, oh no, this is an up or a down, or just a flat candle. This pattern is normally, I mean, as all these things, now we're in here, bounce of this fair value gap. It's either going to support price, or it's going to just reject here, people to see, and then maybe run it up, and then this whole PM session, well, the rest of the morning, go all the way down. Where is this? This is 10. I mean, we've got news at 11 as well, so here we get that reaction, that bounce. Could run something up here and then boom, inverts. Then you target the next one, and then you target the next one. Let's go back to 5 minutes and see. See, there's 5 minutes. Okay, I just started. If that stays intact, that high, and this thing just closed below, then we can expect some downside, I think. But then that high should stay intact. And this is a pattern for us if we close below the open of that. And there we go. See, that's the macro. Could bounce here to go higher, or this is where the reversal happens. Looks like a strong move. Goes back up there. I'll probably take another short. I'll just take another short here. Now I need to only reason I took the short here is because there's this big momentum candle taking that lows out, this fair value gap out, this little block out in here. So this could be your IFVG now. And all I want is now to run down the page. Might block here. If it inverts there, I'll target liquidity down here. But if this thing's holding, let's just see where this one closes. Might go all the way down here. guys, just show you now, I'm not trading without stop losses. I just want to see what's happening here. Price could come back and spike into this fair value gap up here, but in this case that happened, and I can put I'll give myself some breathing space here and put it above here, and then try to see if we want to go through this. In this, it's just going to go as 1, 2, and then try to ride it, see if we can get it to the bottom. But I need to break through this. Just go back to the 5 minutes so we can see. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is the pattern. It's breaking through this. Now I need to see what it does here, and if it wants to go all the way down there. Okay, so this thing could bounce all the way up here and then drop, or it can just go through it. Then I might move my stop to break even and try to target liquidity down here. Let's do that anyways. Buy 2, and let's see if we can get it. I need aggressive moves. Lower, down. And you saw what happened here. This is all within the macro time. The next macro time is at 10:50. It's around 11. So let's see what it does. It's holding, holding, holding. Like to see it at least go to here. And then this area becomes more like a breaker, up, down, test, drop. Be great if this plays out the way we said. So let's see. Come on, come on. If it closes above here, it's not a good sign, because that will tell me we're bouncing off this block and we're most probably going to go higher. And then I might just close the trade like that, but I need to close there, because then it could be set up to go higher. Let's just get ready to potentially do that, because it doesn't close above it, so we might see a push lower. The reason I closed it here is because of this push from here to here. This is a discount to buy, and it's rejecting off this block. But let's see if it rejects this now. And I just didn't want to you know, give money back. Money was on the table. I had a stop loss, but there's also, I'm in a bullish market, so I don't want to try my luck because then I'm gambling. This is a bullish. As you can see, it's right in there. It was a nice discount, but if it gives me a reversal here, I might try it again. But then it should hold price here and close below the open of that. Then I might look at shorting again and try to take it all the way down. Okay, so this black candle should not take out that high. And it did not. And now it needs to close down. Okay. Now, let's see what it does with this little block here. And this is where the confusion comes in. It's up, down, up. This thing could just take a test in here, and then if it reverses here, then we will most likely see it go down. Let's just draw a line there. Okay, that's another one. Or if this thing closes like this, it's happy to take a short stop loss just above. If it takes you out, but there's a good opportunity for this to then go down because of the liquidity and all of that. But not if it's spinning like this. Then you just stay put. But let's see how it ends. How does it close? Nope, see, you can't take a short there. There's that blue line that we draw out. This thing could go and test that and reverse from there. Then we're in good shape. And I'm going to take this one, because then we've got the original fair value gap inverted. We broke structures, we broke this fair value gap, we came back. We're either going to invert this to go higher, or we can test this, give our pattern, because this is the last line in defense. Here it can still go up, and as you know, my stop was right here, and that's where if we're going to go there, I'm glad I closed my trade. this now becomes your new premium up here. But 5 minutes is still bullish. If this thing reverse here and invert something, then it fails. Like here it went higher, higher, failed, shift, retrace, drop. That's how I read it. And this is now, I'm going to close this. This has now formed a new fair value gap. Fair value gap. We add that at that blue line, like I said, and that's normally a pattern push and a body test. This is right there at the body test. Let's just see if it's aggressively like this. I most probably will take a short here. I just don't like the pins. If it pins like this, all I can tell you, when it pins like this, it creates liquidity. Liquidity, liquidity, that's a trend line. And if you really look at this, push 1, push 2, push 3, and then drop. Okay, I took it there. I did say I don't like the pins. I don't know why I took the trade anyway. But let's see. Maybe it holds. If it closes above here, I'll just close the trade. It'd be great if that 50% at dotted line can hold price. I'd like to see something aggressively down now. Little equal highs there. Could see a spike up to come down, or just aggressively down moves. Should have waited. No, can't say that. There's our pattern again. So hopefully this pattern holds. This wasn't a best pattern. This is a better pattern. You can still go and spike through, but this is something with a tight stop to go lower. So if we can close below the swing point, you know, that would be great. Come on, let's do this. In line with that body now. Let's see if this pattern here is also not a good pattern. I need to see it close below here. I think if we go there at break even, I might just lapse the trade. And I'll tell you, the reason being this thing might go sideways now till 11 o'clock, where the next news driver is. I don't want to sit in a trade waiting for that news driver, so I either got to cut it now But I think if we poke down below that line, I'll just lapse it. And oh, this could be not ideal. But let's see. I mean, I could be on the right side of the market and this thing just drop aggressively. But let's see. Don't like this at all now. Go on. Okay. Just see. Okay. Made a small loss. Well, that's fine. I don't like what it's doing right now. And I think we're just going to have to sit and wait, because the next macro starts here. And it goes to here. And it creates all these pins. Now what I've learned from these pins, this thing could give us another entry now where it creates all the stop loss, stop loss, stop loss, stop loss, and go higher, and then shoots through it, shoots through it, shoots through it, all of this. And this is already creating some sort of trend line for a retail trader. And we're above liquidity, so we're still in a liquidity zone to take people's liquidity, you know, stop people and shake them out on all sides. So we just need to be obviously very aware of what's going on. Like here, that's your OTE. This thing could go up and stop right, all create new equal highs, and then drop, taking these lows out, because this is all trend line stuff, and that's why I'm expecting it to come down. Right, let's give it some breathing room. I'm just going to mute myself for a minute here, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so as you can see, we just ran that high again, so we keep pushing higher. But what I want to show you guys, this is what's key. This, that low, that's also liquidity. And that is where we're going to come, maybe bounce one up and then reverse and take that out, and then potentially run all the way down to here and then consolidate for the weekend. So I'm taking my eyes off there. I wouldn't sell here because I think 11 o'clock is right here. That's when the news are coming out. We're in the macro zone right now. So maybe let's say macro. This is where macro is. But the macro doesn't just run from the start of this. There's a news driver in between. So that thing could spike up again, or aggressive push up, invert and then drop. Or this thing can just run and give us no opportunity to enter. So let's see. And guys, if this thing keeps going higher, I mean, that's just one of those things. But here at 11, that's normally my end of my trading. But I can see something's going to set up here. And then we might not see aggressive push down, but we might see a gradually move all the way down here when we close off today. But this is most probably, this could be the daily high, or we can go higher first. Let's just look at 5 minutes quick. And this is another good example. See all this. I mean, you take this low, that low, that low, that low, just going higher. And let's see if you had if you traded the OTE strategy, you would still not have gotten to your 0.27, which is up there. Maybe let's just mark it out. Okay. I would like to see in this area in a 1 minute for a fair value gap to form to the top side. So I would like to see a big candle create a fair value gap up and then invert it. Then I'm good to take the short to go for these liquidity down here. Let's just make this a different color. So it'd be great here if, I mean, we could, I just want to see some sort of fair value gap in the pattern. Then that would be, for me, that would be a good trade to short, take this liquidity out. But also, I mean, this thing can just carry on going higher. But let's see. That's just what I expect, and this is what I've seen so many times happen and set up. So let's see how this actually plays out. Okay, 2 more minutes. Right, 2 more minutes. So our price has gradually moved higher, 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 now it's consolidating, not much happening. And this is just, that all stopped people out who took the OTE. If it was me, luckily I closed my trade early because I can see what's coming, and I realized there was news coming out at 11. So normally I would see a pattern and then the reaction should be instant, and if it's not, then that's also fine, then we just need to get out. I mean, I'm just looking at these lows here, this one and this one. There's some equal lows there, and that would be a good target. There's some liquidity there. Let's see. Okay, so now let's see if it's going to give us something to the top side. 11 o'clock to give us a nice entry up here to then push lower. Like big push, not so big push. So this thing could run up to this high again and just test it, and then boom, see what it does. Or it could just give us no entry and there's just plummet through all of these lows, and then we're going to have to wait for some sort of pullback. There's some people here who trades trend lines. I don't know, they most likely will take a short here. And if you have this context right, this is probably where people will get it right. But see how this little fair value gap is holding price. See. Let me take this one off. So we got a clear this is probably not the best fair value gap that stands out. People would have gone short. It's a break of trend line. This thing might go up here again and then create a nice fair value gap up here, and that would give us something to invert to go lower. For us to have taken this entry here, we would have waited for price to close below it and then take it down. I want to see something going, and there's our pattern again to go higher. I want to see something go up here and try to get close but fail to take this high out with a fair value gap and invert it, and then it would be a nice entry if it actually gives us that. Okay, so this is past my my trading time, but there's still 8 minutes left of the macro, so let's see what this actually, if it's going to give us something. Yeah, be nice. I mean, test this. It's good to mark things out to see what holds price, or at least that is what I'm doing. So see if this up close candle holds price, but we haven't taken this out yet, so we might just still go up there first, which would be ideal because then we get a really tight entry to and then the reward will be just amazing. But let's see. If we go and close below this now, that will be a market structure shift there, and this will be a IFEG, or inversion fair value gap, but we're not there yet. That's just if we had to do that. This high right here is also key, but the fact that we not rejecting this tells me we want to go higher first. Okay, so that's out. Now we want to see some big candle leave a nice fair value gap for us. Let's see if it gives it. Now what we can see, we got all this higher low, higher low, higher low with some equal lows here, another low, and now we want to see a rejection or fail to take out this high, and then this would be a nice fair value gap, provided we don't go and fill this bloody thing now, and then it's just one of those things. This must just stop right there. Okay, so we literally stop at that blue line, which we expected. So now if we invert this fair value gap after 18 seconds, I think we make a high, we took a high, we struggle with the high. Now we don't want to get close, just hold it for 6 more seconds. Just hold it. And now you want to see this boom. You don't want to jump too early, but if it invert here, that's a good nice to see a nice black white drop. Be great if this candle can close now below this fair value gap, because then I think the trend for the rest of the day will be lower down, lower. But this is still consolidating above, and it might now give us a spike to induce people to go long and then aggressively reverse. And people see this higher lows, and now people think we're going higher, and then I want to see a big rejection to inverse this, and that would be an ideal scenario for me to take a short and then try to, this thing can go higher again and then give us our pattern. And then it would be a good, okay, so let's see what happens in the next minute. Nice if it's a white candle, that the body is white when it closes. That pin. Don't like it if it's a black candle. Give me a white. Okay, so now I just need price to move lower and invert. Guys, if it doesn't do it, I'm not taking any trades. So this is a swing point here. If we close below that, then I'm comfortable or confident that we will most likely go lower. Because what you'll see here, that's a swing low, a swing high, swing low, swing high. Now if it forms a new swing low, yeah, it most likely going to target that high. But if it just drops, and then we probably starting a new cycle to go lower. Oh, but remember, we marked out this blue line here. That's the OTE from earlier. That's was going to be their target. So this could run there and then give us the reverse, which is not bad, because then it gives us a better risk to reward for this trade if we expect it to go lower. So let me close this. So there's no temptation to take stupid trades. Low, high, low, high, low, high, dong. Okay. Right, so this is past my, this might go into the PM now. I think that's it for me from now. I mean, mark out those levels for yourself, and yeah, thank you for watching, and be safe, and I hope you guys made some money or are going to make money. Let's wait till next week. We'll get some nice setups next week, I'm sure, and have a great week and be safe. Thank you and goodbye.